Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Gotham City Chronicles. This is episode 23, where we're going to go back to the beginning of Batman, all the way back to the golden age of DC Comics, starting with Detective Comics 27 through 33, Detective Comics 38, the first appearance of Robin, and Batman #1, the first appearance of the Joker and Catwoman. So we have quite a bit of Batman goodness to go over today, and I am joined as usual by my co-host JP.
Hey man, what's up?
What's
up? Looking forward to this. This was fun. I never read these, so this was fun.
Yeah, that's really cool because this for you was a first time experience going through these original Batman stories. For me, it was a second time experience, but it had been been a significant amount of time. Yeah. So it was fun to re-experience them again now that I'm like way more into comic books, especially collecting Golden Age Batman and stuff like that. So right. I kind of looked at it from a new perspective, which was great. And then we couldn't really have picked a more perfect guest for this episode. Joining us here to discuss Golden Age Batman is one of the biggest Golden Age Batman collectors I know that I'm friends with, and that would be Dr. Hugo Strange. No, Dr. Death. No, at the very least, we'll call him Doctor. We'll call him Dr. Banger. We got Banger.
Well, I appreciate that, Kavi, but. You obviously don't hang out with enough Golden Age Batman collectors.
That's probably true. Yeah.
It's damning me with faint praise, but I appreciate the kind words. But certainly
Golden Age Batman collectors that I know, one of them's there and the other one's there.
That's right. I'm a small circle.
I'm looking at a list of 8 comic book issues, and I think you've got 1/4 out of them. Out of the eight. Or AKA 2 out of 8.
Yeah, I guess that is true. That is a good point.
And I'm at 0. Gotcha. I do have some other comics that are in this trade paperback, like Detective 42.
You got Batman 2.
Yeah, I got Detective 42 is in here, but not what we're reading tonight. And also Batman 2 is in here. Also. Not what we're reading tonight, but those are my 2 entries into what was in this book that I have in my PC, which wasn't a requirement. So
we'll have to work on JP acquiring one of them.
Yeah, I should be able to do that. The only one I have, only Golden Age Batman I have is 42,
which is a nice one.
This trade is this one.
Second. Batman,
that's a beauty.
Yeah, second Catwoman cover,
and that's the first in costume, I think.
First in costume. On the cover of Batman.
On the cover.
Yeah.
First in costume is Batman 3, actually.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But it's inside.
First new Catwoman costume, yeah.
Yeah.
And Batman 2 is first time she's called Catwoman. Her second appearance. So
yeah, we're going to be going through a lot of firsts.
A lot of firsts.
In this volume.
If we could think of all the firsts that we
absolutely. All right, so let's dive right in and let's say a quick hello to the chat. We had Gorilla Todd. What's up, bro? We had Graphic Man saying he's had fun manipulating pre-Robin Detective Comics over the years. Manipulating, that's interesting. I wonder what he means.
He's a Graphic Man. Maybe he's taking them in
recreations and stuff, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Just a little podcast. Cookie in the house. What's going on? We got Mr. Gorell. What's up, bro?
Mr. Gorell.
We got Super Russ 9000 who dropped a video. He dropped a video today sharing a Golden Age hardcover that he has in his library that had Golden Age Detective Comics issues and such in it. So I was like, yo, we're going to cover those today. So why don't you pop on over?
Yeah, after I grabbed this, I saw that they still had this like in the hardcover, and I was like, oh.
Right, yeah.
I was a little disappointed in myself that I grabbed this way.
And we got Scott Brown just lurking. What's going on, Scott? We got simply incredible podcast in the house. What's up? What's going on? And we got JoJo Flicks and Comics, the latest member of the Golden Age Batman Club. Just if you missed that, check that out.
Dropped that bomb on her?
Of course.
Yeah.
just, you know, a little Santa Claus, Kavi Claus action going on yesterday on JoJo's stream, which was fun, super fun stream. Check that out if you missed it. Also, Kenny hooked her up with something cool also. Fuchsia, what is going on, Fuchsia? Good to see you. All right, well, thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to dive right in. Detective Comics 27 through 33, Batman 1, lots of, you know, first, like Man Cave was saying, in the world of Batman. I'm going to share this screen right here. If you're not familiar with this cover, I don't know a lot of people who aren't familiar with it that collect. But hey, here we are. Detective Comics 27. Now, what do you guys want to begin? Let's start with one of you guys. How about this amazing first panel appearance of Commissioner Gordon?
Commissioner Gordon is like, I commented this before we started, but like, if you go through these, like, Commissioner Gordon's appearance in this time period changes a lot from issue to issue when he appears.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, this is probably actually the closest he looks to how he looks modern in this little run that we read, which is, it doesn't really look that close, but like in terms of design and stuff.
I love the way they're all smoking all the time. Pipes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They are lighting up constantly, and those suits are just to die for, man. These double-breasted major suits there, the colors. I think it's such a blast from the past. Forget about the story, man. You just look at these panels and you're just like, whoa, what the hell? Beautiful.
And I do love how he's just like, oh, I'm going to a crime scene. Hey, my friend, come with me.
Yes, they're just kind of
breaking
chilling,
a few
right?
protocols.
Like,
just come along, man. Hey, yeah.
Hang out. You want to see a crime scene?
Literally, it's Bruce Wayne just chilling with Gordon. That's how the whole saga of Batman begins.
Yes.
And they're like, somebody's been stabbed. You wanna come pop over with me to the crime scene? Yeah, sure, why not? And there you get the first quote unquote car that Bruce Wayne ever drives, which isn't a customized Batmobile that comes later on, but there it is.
Oh well, nothing else to do.
Such a gangster car. You could picture a gangster like standing on the that.
Oh yeah, with the
what they're called. Yeah.
Right, and this is just a 6-page story, so it's a very quick story. You see him. You see them go over to the crime scene right here, and not really that much on this page.
In this panel, it already has more words than most modern comics in the whole comic.
Oh my god! Yeah. But I do love, like, when we get to the next page, when he appears, like, they already know who he is. Like, the criminals already know who he is. So he's been working for a while.
Yeah.
Like, so it's our introduction. Like, it's the criminals are like, the Batman.
Right. It's not a origin story of Batman. Now go to that first panel. To me, that's a pretty awesome first appearance panel of a superhero. I mean, he's just
ready to, like, just standing there with the cape and arms crossed, waiting for him.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yo, what's up, Bonafide?
Bonafide, my man.
What's going on?
What's up, Tim? Comic Collector in the house. Good to see you guys.
And then I think you need to drop down like a little bit on the page where he flips the guy and like right off the bat, he throws the guy off the roof.
Yeah. No messing around. He is.
By the way, so this isn't your PG-13 Batman. This Batman motherfucking kills.
We should let's do a head count. So that's number one.
That's number one.
If we can. I mean, sometimes it's not clear.
Sometimes it's not cut and dry.
There are a number where it's really clear.
I'm just gonna say there's multiple guys he just throws off buildings.
Yes.
Like, that's almost every issue. He throws somebody off a building.
And there's Batman's original Batmobile, another
panel of it. Yeah. So, and what's interesting, like, I mean, in this trade paperback, they credit the cover art to Bob Kane, but they don't credit the interior art to anybody.
Right.
for this Batman story. I'm guessing it's Shelley Moldoff or Charles Paris, or it's probably Moldoff, honestly. During this,
well, that's what they say. Like it says, Bob Kane artist with Sheldon Moldoff, Jerry Robinson, and George Russo. And I guess most of it is
right. And whenever Bob Kane is listed as the primary artist, like the chances of him having done it are not good. So,
no,
that is like his black eye of his history is. Probably didn't give enough credit to the artist who actually did a lot of the legwork.
Yeah, I mean, Batman was really Moldoff and Finger was more.
Yeah, Finger.
Moldoff and Bill Finger on the story side. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a credit was probably not spread around. Now, same criticism goes to Stan Lee, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's for sharing the credit completely wasn't always the common thing.
Sorry. All right. So here's the next page, and this story's
now
almost already
just
over.
Go up again. Look at that lab equipment they have there. The on the corner. It's just and you'll see all these old just chemistry lab items. Fancy.
And I love how almost every villain throughout these series of stories has some kind of lab.
Yes.
In every single story. Like, it doesn't matter what the villain's up to or what, they have a lab.
Yep. Lab with an elaborate trap.
Got a lab, like from the get. Later on, we'll find out. Right.
I mean, I just think it was all the villains had a lab.
What's funny about Golden Age stories that I kind of appreciate, especially since this is the second time I revisited it. It'd been in a while, but in a lot of modern books today, you'll get the complaint of like, man, like they put out 3 issues in a row where that didn't progress the story, or the plot stayed stagnant, and then finally, when the 4th issue came out, like, an exciting development happened or whatever, and the story propelled forward. Here, back in the early days of DC Batman, here it's like you'll have like a normal panel, and then literally in the next panel, like Batman's like in action, like like it's the space between panels from a storytelling standpoint is like non-existent. Like the story will just move. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like within 2 panels, 1 panel, like the amount that you would expect the story to move across a whole issue in like modern comics. Which I think is kind of it's funny how the language is often out of date and feels a little cheesy and corny, but they actually are progressing. The story moves pretty quickly, like in everything.
It jumps around. You're right. It jumps around, and like you get most of these are the first couple are definitely standalones. Like they're completely one-off. They tell the whole story of this particular incident. It's not till you get to the Mad Monk that you get like a one that carries over between issues.
That's 31 and 32, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, all of these others are all like self-contained. The whole like what would be a 6-issue story arc is 1 issue, and then you move right through it. Like this whole thing is about like this guy is trying to basically kill off his partners, and
inherit the whole company,
take over the company for himself, and like there's like 3 murders, and like he takes out 2 of the guys before, and like all of this is happening in 7 or 8 pages.
Yes.
So
no messing around.
So
they had to try these characters out and see if they were well liked and move on if they weren't.
Hold on, now it's giving me. I hate this freaking app thing. Hold on. There it is. So this is the last page of Detective 27.
Oh, you got one more page.
Is there one more?
Oh no, that's it. You're right. Sorry.
You're right. Yeah, I think it was the last one.
And he throws the guy in the acid.
Yeah. Yeah, he's caught the guy, and he's suddenly fighting, and Batman punches him. He's falling right into the acid tank, the henchman says, or the other guy.
The other guy that he was trying to kill.
Right, the guy he was trying to kill, sorry. And go down to see what Batman says. It's too hilarious. He could give a crap. Go down.
A fitting
end for his kind.
Yeah.
no moral worries there. He's just like, yeah.
A fitting end for his kind.
Yeah, that's two.
You see the splash in the background.
I do also find it interesting because like they sort of take. I mean, this character is clearly not the character that becomes the Joker, but this is kind of the Joker's origin. He gets pushed in or falls into a vat of chemicals, and this guy here, now they specifically say acid, but
right.
I love how he has a huge vat of acid in his lab. Because that's normal. Like with a railing above it, so you can fall in.
A lot of use of glass pellets, like he's obsessed with using these like glass bombs that
a lot of gas that'll choke you or knock you out.
Choke like dangerous like sadistic gas is like a common weapon.
It's a common weapon for the villain and for him. Like he's constantly like basically his utility belt. These first few issues just hold glass pellets that he throws to do something, either knock people out or something. Like
I don't know if you guys want me to go like through every single issue.
It's so quick. Here's another one. Yeah. So I want you to pay attention to that panel on our left.
Yeah.
With the guy coming at him with a knife. Does that look familiar to either of you? Not where he's flipping him off the roof. Number 3, by the way.
This one, right? The one on the left?
Yeah. How quickly can you go to the cover of Tech 37?
Oh, yeah, it does kind of look like that.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, I don't know how quickly I can do it, but yeah.
Well, here,
if you can't do it quick, don't worry about it.
Hang on, I can flip to it maybe quicker.
Yeah, you could probably just get to the trade.
Yeah, that's true.
Quicker. Yeah. Sorry.
The guy with the knife.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go.
It's the exact same panel.
Very cool.
And that flipping one is also almost the exact same in one of the later issues. Like they just took some previous art and
again, we're into issue 2, and he's thrown another guy off a building.
A lot of jewel thieves. I noticed is the primary.
I want to discuss that too. That must have been the currency of crime back then. It was not suitcases of cash, or whatever. It was jewels.
I do think it's interesting if on the Tech 28 cover is he's not the cover again. Like you know how it was.
Yeah, he's on every other cover until 36. Yeah.
He's not on the even covers till 36.
Yeah,
so and all the odd covers he's on it.
They did that with Superman. Was kind of the same way on Action. It was a while before like he was on the first cover, and then
Batman was every other time. For Superman, there was a much bigger lag. It was number 1, 7, 10, sort of. 10, at 12, and 12, sort of, and 13.
So I just find it interesting that even though like it took them a while to realize what was selling their book, like, then it was
Well, you know how they found out why people bought their books? How did they get that information back in the 1930s? They had little inserts that said, "Please take this out and mail us the reason you bought this comic. Was it what was your reasoning?" So it was basically fan feedback, the old-fashioned way of writing letters. And they might have had contests, drawings attached with it to get people to do it. And so they basically got a lot of fan feedback by coupons being cut out and sent back to the publisher of what they liked.
They had to cut things out of the book.
Yes.
I mean, Marvel was still doing that with the value stamps in the 70s. I mean,
Golden Age Guru did some on it, and I think he said for Action Comics they got like 2,000 respondents saying, "All right."
They encouraged you cut out the back cover to Batman 1 and pin it up on your wall or whatever with the Batman Robin yellow back cover, which is a classic image of itself now.
Right. A lot of the Superman comics, not the Action Comics, but Superman's had a lot of pin ads too that were cool on the back.
All right, so I'm going to keep moving along here in this story. I mean, this one.
I do want to comment here is like I love how this whole time they talk about glass pellets a lot, and then they're always careful to point out silken rope. His silken rope.
That silken rope. It's really strong stuff.
It's really strong silken rope that he's using to like swing between buildings.
Yeah, his lasso.
His lasso, yeah.
And it's literally, they call it his lasso, right?
Well,
Batmobile again.
He draws a tough silk rope from his belt and twirls it over his head, lassoing a flagpole. Yeah,
I think that's a sweet panel right there, though. I really like.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, where he's swinging. Yeah.
Right through the window. You got the little crescent moon. In the
got the baddie with the hat kicking off. The hat kick off his head. I love that.
Yeah, everybody wore a hat back in the day.
Oh yeah, man. Like clock to the nose right there.
That panel where he's punching him, his head is so big. That one like bothered me. That particular panel, like the panel right before it, I thought was great.
Yeah, it looks kind of like it looks like an ink blotchy ink.
Yeah, but the second one, it's like hydrocephalus Batman. He has a huge head, and it's just it's a little different.
Graphic Man's totally on point. He's like, and he constantly said the Batman. Like
I was going to point that out. Where there's not while we're the ones we've chosen to read, the Batman, like the Ohio State University is.
Yeah,
it is. He doesn't. The other thing I was going to point out, it was Bat-Man up until 29.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Let me go to this page.
Now look at this. So he's trying to get some evidence, and he hangs him out the window. Seriously, like Vanilla Ice style here.
Oh yeah.
And and he's basically, he wants a complete confession, and he's gonna read it out the middle panel. Go back to that. Keep quiet and listen. I want a complete written confession from you about these jewel robberies, or else I'll cut the rope. Now that wasn't just a threat from the Golden Age Batman. You better believe he may well have done that.
This is like I said. This isn't your your Tim Burton Batman right here.
Yeah. Many a Hollywood character will threaten but not do much, and this guy would have.
Lots of like quick reversals in the action.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he's sitting, like he's just standing across from the guy, and then it's like suddenly the guy's leaping to the air, and
so that's two in a row basically. The last one, the boss went after him with inhuman strength, and then Batman knocked him into the vat of acid. And this one, same thing. This one he doesn't die, but he's just pummeled, and he's like, "Don't hit me like that again, please. Don't hit me."
Yeah.
And at least this time he actually lives, but a little worse for the wearer.
That was a little signature on the letter to Gordon.
And it even says I remain.
Yeah, he doesn't spell out the name in that first letter, right?
Yeah, it's just
but he still uses the Batman. Yeah.
The and a bat.
And it's the same Gordon from 27.
That is the same Gordon there. Yeah,
and he's wearing the same suit.
At least one issue of continuity. Okay, so we're on Tech 29, which Mr. Man Cave over here has in his collection.
I didn't pull them nearby, so I'm sorry. I should have thought and pulled them out. So we
should have thought, but it's fine. But I'll just take a moment to say how awesome that is.
It's.
Yeah, well, any pre-Robin tech is just
any
pre-Robin thing to have. That's just so cool.
Any pre-Robin Batman tech.
Yes, Batman.
I've got a pre-Batman tech, which is
cool because you have
cool.
And if I must narrow it down,
technically Batman, they mentioned Batman, so I'm cool with
Batman on the cover too.
Yeah.
28's earlier, but I prefer 29. Most people would agree that they want one of the odd numbers.
Yeah, they want 27 or 29 or 31.
Right.
So this is considered sort of the first big bad of Batman, Dr. Death, right here, right? Or the first kind of reoccurring Batman villain, right?
That's right. Dr. Death. Look at all the lab equipment, the lab equipment with a skull on the book.
Oh yeah.
And I like the name of his henchman.
He's got like an actual named henchman here. He's got
Jabba.
Oh yeah, the names are something else. Names.
There's no politically correct in any of these names.
There's nothing. Yeah, don't like we were kind of talking about it backstage. Like there's certain things going through stories from the 30s and 40s that you just kind of have to like overlook and say that it's it's just a sign of the times that it was made, and it's let's not lose our heads about some of the things.
And again, everyone's smoking.
Yep. Take it. You just look at it in the positive that improvements have been made in the world. If you forget that improvements have been made, read some Golden Age comics and you realize the world actually has progressed.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard to lose sight of that. But you're right. Just the amount of smoking alone is unreal.
So this one essentially sets up. It's the first appearance of Dr. Death. It sets up the Dr. Death, Bruce Wayne kind of and Batman rivalry, I guess, if you will, or dynamic.
Because right from the get-go, Dr. Death is calling Batman out and wanting to trap him. He's sort of
what I think is so funny about this page, though, is like he leaves him a letter that says Batman, and then Bruce goes to pick it up, and it's like, isn't that like the biggest dead giveaway of like, who this
public
is?
Notice.
Public notice. Pick up this letter at this time. At this thing.
Addressed to John Jones.
Yeah, I'm not going to nitpick it like it's a Brian Michael Bendis story or anything. But,
it's pretty. Well, it's addressed to just a random guy, and he just Bruce Wayne goes and gets it for the Batman.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a public notice, anybody can go get the letter.
And you get the idea that Batman's car is the same as like Bruce Wayne might drive that same car, right?
Right.
He doesn't
even change the license plate
that he's driving around or what?
Oh man,
it's great.
I like that bottom left panel though. That's really cool.
Look at this is a first mention of equipment here, really.
Yeah.
You got the belt with the glass pellets, and you gotta love the suction cup knee pads and gloves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, suction cup knee pads and gloves.
Yep. Awesome.
All right.
And here he's utilizing it right off the bat.
His lasso, the suction cups will come in handy. He's climbing the building.
Yeah.
I think my suction pads will come in handy here.
You gotta wonder what was it about that building?
I love reading the dialogue in that that cheesy paperboy voice, Yeah.
Like the previous comic, he was basically flipping around all over the place like a Spider-Man almost. And in this one, suddenly he has to use his suction cups to get up the building a little bit.
Yeah.
I love the just the simplicity in the artwork and like the dramatic feeling that it gives though.
Yeah.
A lot of times you get lost in so many details and so many things going on nowadays that this is like it's stripped down to the absolute core basics.
But look at this panel. Yeah, the whole thing it conveys what it wants to convey, Yeah. Here he is in silhouette in the window. Dark.
Is that visible? Yeah. Okay, there we
go. The moon in the background.
Yeah.
Just a great.
That one, that shot where he's opening the window. It's really cool.
Yeah. Kavi, if you could find the original artwork to that, what would it go for now?
I couldn't even estimate it, dude.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. I mean, Golden Age artwork is pretty.
Batman 29. Oh my gosh.
I mean, not much of it exists at all. Period. Yeah. Certainly not a lot of the original DC stuff.
It survived less than the actual comics did. That's for sure. Yeah.
Right. Oh, this is a cool scene right here. I like this scene.
Yeah.
And the killers go down. And they're like, quick as a panther, the Batman is upon the gunman.
And look what Batman does. He pulls the gun on them. So there's a big debate for a while.
He'd kill us.
They were pondering having Batman use a gun for a while, and they toyed around with it, and they finally decided he would be gun free, but it wasn't.
There's the money shot right there. There's your poster.
Your choice,
gentlemen. Tell me or I'll kill you.
There you go. He wasn't messing around either.
I love it though. All right, we're almost done with this issue, I think.
Actually, we got a little bit left on this one.
We're halfway through.
Yeah.
More glass pellets here going on. Batman gets hit by a bullet, right?
Yes, he gets hit there. little blood coming out.
And yet it doesn't stop him from swinging on his rope to safety.
It's
like
it's
even though he's just hit the shoulder.
Dare I say it's the origin of the flesh wound? I don't know.
That's not
just
bad.
a flesh wound. I imagine there's some pulps way earlier that had similar sort of flesh wounds, but it's fun to watch.
So, it doesn't look like a flesh wound when he's here in a minute when he's patching himself up. It's
I love this panel as a callback to that panel like a couple pages ago though, where he's just entering it and it's all clean and now he's busting through it and it's
I love how his cape is already like formed into wings there and it's like
the original Batman cape was like that. It took a while to get the Batman cape we're used to, but
I know, but I love how it's bigger than the space he just jumped through.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
What's up, Southern Comic Geek in the house? Good to see you, brother.
God, he's jumped off.
All right. And then, I like this one because you see him like treating his own wound.
And then he goes to the family doctor.
This cracks me up. He's like,
oh yeah, he's on the table.
He's like, how did you shoot yourself? But there's no powder marks on your flesh. So the doctor's like really questioning the he's examined and determined that there should be powder marks. His
explanation is like, I do funny things sometimes, Doc. I'll tell you. Let me tell you about it. See, someday.
I'll
tell you about it someday. Thanks for everything.
Oh, that's great. That is so great.
Good shot, but anyway, no worries.
And here's Jabba looking.
Jabba's back. Jabba's back in action. His Dr. Death's main.
You can imagine someone like that walking down Fifth Avenue back in the 30s. Wouldn't it look suspicious at all?
No.
That's a cool panel right there.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that's really cool. I wish I know for sure that Moldoff drew that, but that's a whole nother freaking.
Yeah. There's no, at this point, that'd be tough.
I have my original Moldoff a couple feet over to my left on the wall that Take the Time Collectibles sent me as an AOK, which was nice. Awesome of him.
Now he takes out Jabba there, surprises
right here,
Dr. Death. Yep.
Isn't there a hypodermic needle somewhere, or is that the other issue, 35?
The cover of 35 has a hypodermic needle. It wouldn't surprise they took panels from earlier stuff and incorporated them.
There's not. I don't think that's in this.
I don't think so either, though.
I think it may. Yeah, it might be in one of the other Batman stories.
But if you look at the way the doctor was sitting there, it very much looks like that pan. You know, the flavor is very similar.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the end right here.
He just burns him and leaves him in a burning building.
leaves him to burn up alive. And he's like,
Jabba bites it here, so that's number 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Death to Dr. Death. That's how that issue ends. So so now we're on Detective 30, which is another
non-Batman cover.
Non-Batman cover.
Yep. Even.
No, I do like the little title when you get to the actual part of his story.
I think 32 has a bat head, or is it 34? I can't remember. One of them starts having him being shown, but.
Oh, you mean in the upper left corner?
Yeah, I can't remember. Well,
I like the background image or trade dress on the splash page.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the little Batman title is cool.
I just looked ahead. 34 has the bat. It's not a Batman cover, but he has his image on the top.
Yeah. So basically he's still kind of affected by the whole Dr. Death situation.
Dr. Death. I had a mix up. Dr. Death is the first recurring.
Dr. Death's the first recurring. Yeah. Recurring.
Because he is in 30 also.
Another panel of Batman alone, kind of looking ominous with the classic hero inking with the in red and everything, and he's
so great.
He's like, these
I love those
vials. Gas vials may be needed tonight.
Yeah, I went from gas pellets to vials, but yes.
Yep. And there's another the OG Batmobile right there.
Yeah, there's again. Yeah, looking more.
Look at it changes to blue. It finally goes from a red car to a blue car at some point. But
and it looks more and more like a sports car. Like
it's more like a 2-seater there than a 4-seater. Yeah, before it was sort of a family car.
Yeah, I mean, that panel is cool. Like I feel like that has been tributed like freaking McFarlane tributed that.
Oh, with the cape across and the against the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of there's a lot of covers where he's kind of doing
right. But is this the first time he's done that pose? Like I don't remember in the prior.
I think so.
I think this is the first time.
I don't know, and the cape is still the bat-shaped cape here too.
Yeah.
When he's moving like that, I mean, it's variable.
I think that's the first time he's like got the cape over him like that.
I think so too, which is a key, kind of like a key Batman imagery moment, really.
Oh yeah. Beautiful.
All right, and then he's trying to grab these diamonds, right?
Yep. It's always about jewels, diamonds.
Always about jewels, man. And then I kind of jokingly called this the first appearance of Hush right here. True first appearance of Hush, Detective Comics 30. A little bit harder to get than Batman 686 or whatever the fuck it is.
Just a touch. He's already got rid of Jabba.
Or 608 rather. Sorry. Yeah. So there you go. So it's revealed that Dr. Death is still alive. Then basically he trails Jabba, right, for leads.
Well, this ain't Jabba anymore. This is
this is like his brother.
Cossack. Mikhail the Cossack.
Yeah.
Mikhail.
So I'm Russian. It's a Ruski. And you got to love these wall safes that they had, because this is the second time there's an image.
Always behind a picture.
Dripping with jewels just falling out.
Yeah, as soon as you open it, the jewels just falling out of it.
This is
what does he say there? Go up a sec. He said.
Where?
One of Dr. Death's Cossacks, such as Jabba. Okay, so he does.
I'll follow him to Doctor. Yeah, he's kind of tailing the guy.
Yeah,
looking for where he's going to lead him.
And he doesn't really want to jump out, but the old lady sort of blows the cover there, so he has to save her.
Right.
I love how he saves her, knocks the guy out, but then gives the guy the jewels to steal. He's like, because I got to follow you. like he couldn't just like when the guy let the guy escape without the jewels, and then still follow him to Dr. Death.
And then bring it to the Cossack when he wakes up.
Love how he takes the time to put a cold compress on this old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, now for my Cossack thief. And then there you have just one of those classic interior Moldoff.
Oh my God,
panels.
Beautiful.
I mean,
that is so great.
I mean, that's practically the cover that's the Tech 29 cover kind of reduxed in a way, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is basically Tech 29 cover.
But freaking amazing art.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, and then on the next
look at the Cossack. Whatever happened up there? I'm glad I clung to onto the bag. He'll come. Batman's nursing him. He's like, he'll come in a moment.
Yeah.
And he's following.
Yeah. These stories can be pretty thin sometimes.
Yeah, it's great though. You gotta enjoy that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Or glass vials, glass pellet bombs.
Yep.
Creating a disturbance. Guys choking now.
Now, Batman predated Green Hornet fairly significantly, right? Because Green Hornet used a lot of gas to put people out too. It was a common theme in the 40s, 30s.
But he has to swing out the window.
He's always jumping out windows.
And the rope is always right there. He's always left it in perfect place to swing away, and then in this case, swing back and get him when he leans out the window to shoot him.
And look at this. I think this is number 5 here.
Yeah, because he really snaps that.
The sickening snap of the Cossack's neck. That's brutal, man.
Look at that Golden Age death action right there.
He says, "First Jabba, now you, and yet Dr. Death lives on."
Yeah, well, it even says there's a sickening snap as the Cossack's neck breaks.
That's pretty straightforward. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pick up the pace here.
Yeah. Look at that purple though, man.
Because this story kind of just meanders a little bit, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and then
I would say issue 30 is. I am no way ready to rank these issues against each other or anything like that. Yeah. But I would say issue 30 was kind of one of the weaker stories. Yeah. Had some cool art moments. For sure. And this time in the note at the end of the issue, he does sign the Batman in addition to the symbol or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But the dash is gone now. It's just Batman. It's not Batman.
Yeah, exactly. No dash in there. So.
Yes, that actually was in 29. They had the hyphen in the splash page, but by the end of the comic, they had the full Batman.
Right. Okay, so this is a pretty the beginning of a 2-issue storyline, right? That showcases a couple things. This is not Dr. Death. This is a Hugo Strange, right?
This is the monk. The monk.
Okay, no, this is the monk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the 2-issue monk storyline that also introduces Julie Madison as the first fiance/girlfriend of Bruce Wayne.
First, what other? Yeah. There are a few other firsts in here too.
Right. And just an absolutely freaking epic cover.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, is there a more classic Batman cover from this early Golden Age period?
The only reason 27 might be more is because it's the first, but other than that, this is the best.
But from pure cover standpoint, is there another cover from this kind of period? I mean, that even comes close?
No, man. I don't think so.
I mean, it depends on what you're talking about, because Action Comics 1 is a super duper iconic cover too, holding the car, but it appeals to a different group of people.
Yeah,
this appeals to.
Well, and I was thinking more specifically just Batman, like
you're talking Batman.
Yeah,
if you're talking Batman.
Well, here's the thing. I think this one to me is in a class of its own because the issue itself doesn't necessarily have anything as impactful as like a massive first appearance of a villain or a massive first appearance of the main hero. Yet it seems to always be like the cream of the crop that rises to the top of the discussion.
It is completely popular because of the cover, not because of the story.
I mean,
it's purely driven by this cover.
So. Yes, this cover is.
Other than 27 and 38, this has got to be the most expensive book, right?
Yeah,
this is more expensive than 38.
It's more, okay.
This is more expensive than 38. This is more expensive than 29 at the same grades, I would think.
Absolutely, no comparison.
And 29's an earlier. 29's an earlier Batman appearance and cover appearance, but it's not as sought after cover.
No, this purely wins out as probably most people's most favorite,
for sure,
Golden Age Batman cover, if not Golden Age cover, period. So, yeah.
All right, let's get into this story a little bit because this one actually has some connectivity and stuff between the 2 issues, right, of the run.
Well, I think 29 and 30 were connected too. If you got,
I guess so.
They're both Dr. Death.
Dr. Death,
yeah. This, but they almost held alone as stories if you needed to. Whereas this is more of a continuity.
Right. This is a through story, but there's some weird crap in the story.
Well, it's the first Batman versus someone with superpowers.
Right.
So already you get a little, and it's the first appearance of other things too.
Well, I sort of skipped past it a little bit, but this bottom panel here is the first appearance of Julie Madison, right?
Yes. Yeah. And she's hypnotized right now.
Yeah. By Monk,
yep.
All right, and then here she is running into Batman, but she's not aware that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
No.
Yep.
But I that's why I found these two particular panels pretty funny. Because she's like, "What am I doing here? Who are you?" And then she's like, "But if you're taking me home, how do you know where I live?"
And I run up.
Why won't you talk?
Why won't you talk? Why won't you tell me anything? How do you know where I live?
But
I'm
she's in the car.
surprised she's like, "Why are you driving Bruce Wayne's car?"
Yeah, it's like Bruce car. It's just like
that, you know. I had to nitpick that a little bit, but I mean, it's all, you know, it's all in good fun. But, yeah.
Again, I have to admire Bruce Wayne's suit here with the bow tie and the
oh
my gosh, it's like the pipe. It's so ridiculous. Love it.
Okay, and then
and they're not even suspicious. The doctor says, "I recommend you go visit Hungary to get over your trauma."
And then he's like, "Oh yeah,
random history of werewolves.
Let's hop on a boat to Paris. Why not?"
He's also hypnotized, but it's pretty funny that's such a ham-handed, you know.
Well, and we get the bat copter, the first kind of bat plane,
bat
and
gyro,
the first boomer, and the first batarang.
Bat gyro, yeah, that's what he calls it.
Yeah, and the batarang. We get it. Now I do love how the bat gyro like changes when you get to the next issue, and it has like a bat face on it.
Yeah.
It goes from like having in this issue it changes. It goes from having like the spinning thing, and then it's got. Oh, I guess it does have the bat face even there, doesn't it? A little bit. You just can't see it. Yeah.
I mean, I really dig this panel sequence right up here.
Yeah.
It reminds. It kind of reminds me of, you know, one of the covers a little bit, but without Batman in it. You know what I mean? It's like it's got the bat. What is that? The bat plane or the bat gyro?
Bat gyro.
Bat gyro.
Yeah, the bat gyro. It's a pretty sophisticated piece of machinery. I mean, he can get out of it, and the thing will just hover there.
But having all these
for the times, it was practically sci-fi for the time.
Having all these like citizens in the front ground of the image.
The world, we're being attacked by Martians.
Hey, another thing to point out that we didn't early up top is that none of this stuff happens in Gotham.
No.
That's true. Gotham.
All of this stuff happens in New York City in the early DC
I
comics.
think he even uses the word metropolis once, if I recall.
And then a little bit later, but yeah, he does use metropolis.
Yeah, but New York City is specifically specified a lot in the first several issues.
Well, I mean, this all takes place in Europe, like after the initial.
Yeah, this issue does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that panel there, where the moon. They use the moon a lot, but I love it.
Yeah. And then, not only does he know where she lives, but he's on the same cruise.
Well, I love how
here.
Flight. Like, you know, he's got. That was still a pretty big deal at that point in time. And this gyro just, I can fly to Europe.
But there's the first appearance of the monk right there.
Yeah.
Yep. The arch criminal.
Yeah.
The monk. With the monk, I find very, like, as we go through this, very strange. He's like this hypnotist, and he's a monk, and yet it turns out at the end he's actually a vampire. And
they grabbed a whole bunch. They grabbed werewolves, vampires, hypnotists, you know, cultists.
Yeah. And then later we get the, you know, it's just there's some strange stuff going on here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know,
it's like magic or.
And of course, there's always a big gorilla there to just.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere we get this giant gorilla, which is just like what? Which is never explained. It's just a giant gorilla.
Oh man!
All of a sudden, he's being unloaded into like a pit of snakes.
A pit of snakes, and we see the first real use of the batarang at that point.
Yeah.
Now, this is a theme that all villains in Hollywood and storytelling have made the mistake of. You know, if they just kill the person right off the bat. You know what I mean? You'd be done with it, but it's always an elaborate thing, or they talk too much, and you'll find, you know, later on too much talking by the villain, not enough.
Yeah.
It's a great device.
He he like sets the death trap and walks away.
Not in this case, not a lot of talking. But,
I mean, Graphic Man pointed out that he does kind of have a clan look. I would kind of agree with that. I guess the red hooded clan look. What's up,
Schoenberg did a ton of that kind of look for his covers and his comics.
Yes. You got Batman versus the Gorilla here, which is really cool.
And the bat, they do call it the bat plane at this point. They called it the gyro earlier in the issue, but here they do call it.
There's a little bit of contention about that among collectors.
Whether this is the first bat plane,
because it's it's defined in the issue as the bat gyro, right? And then just by language, it's referred to as the bat plane, but a true bat plane gets introduced later on.
Yeah.
And then a bat plane doesn't appear on the cover until Tech 61 or something like that. But
I think that's a case of being a little nitpicky. It's a flying,
whatever. Yeah, it's a flying bat. It's a flying bat thingy.
Yeah. Well, it looks more like a plane than a helicopter. That's
like on this page. Like she's been hypnotized. She's driving, so he gasses her so she wrecks. To save her. Like she crashes into a tree.
Any reason to use that glass pellet bomb thing?
And there were no seatbelts back then.
He could have just said, tried to get in and make her stop. No, he just makes her wreck, and then he goes and digs her out of the car.
I'll roll with what Super Russ is saying. That it's the first true appearance of Red Hood and the Gorilla Grodd.
There you go. Just to make it a little
we'll make all newer characters harder to collect by saying that their first appearances are from this era. But
there you go.
Anyway, really cool panels here. To Man Cave's point, I think there's maybe 2 panels at most between uses of the moon in this issue. Literally
a lot. Unless they're indoors, there's a moon in the background.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're at 32, which is the conclusion of this story.
There you go. And you saw in 32 the cover, you had the head in the front. That was the first time Batman is in the top there.
Right. The top of the trade dress right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Boom. All right, I'm getting pretty good at my zooming in and out of these images right here.
I think you're doing spectacular.
I'm getting a lot of practice. I can tell you that. I wasn't prepared.
There's the pose again.
Yeah, they reused that pose there this time.
Yeah, it looks awesome there, though, man. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah. What's up, Sam? I Am Comics in the house.
Sam.
These Golden Age Batman stories are wild. Yeah, they are wild, man.
And we're at a death count of 5, I think.
We
got a 5 count.
We didn't have a death that issue. A little disappointing.
There's
hold on, I gotta go to my.
He hasn't thrown anybody off a building for a while either. That's a little disappointing.
All right, so back to Julie Madison here a little bit.
This ain't Julie Madison. This is this?
No, this is another lady.
Oh, this is the other lady.
This is. Are we allowed to give away stuff, or are we gonna?
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
Let's not spoil it. Let's wait.
Dahlia, or whatever.
Let's wait till we get to it. All right. Oh yeah, because Julie's.
Well, he thinks the carriage is carrying the monk, and it turns out it's carrying this lady.
Now I remember actually what happened in the book.
Yeah.
And he just takes this he's such a sap in this whole issue when it comes to this lady. So he takes her back. He thinks she's the monk because she's in the monk's carriage. I don't know if he kills this guy or not. You already had you went past it where he's has the driver lifted up and gonna throw him off the thing.
Oh wait, let's look at that was what 2 pages before. Right?
Yeah,
this guy right here
with the moon. He's got this lifted up I'm gonna toss you to wherever.
Honestly, I consider that a kill.
Yeah,
I don't
We can call it. Yeah.
If they're leaving it up to interpretation, which means he probably did kill him.
Yeah.
From this era,
6. We'll say 6.
So Dala was the other woman, right?
Yeah.
She escapes.
Yep. She gives him the 1-2.
After she appears that he turns his back on her after she has blood on her lips when she's been in the room with Julie. Like like, oh, so now we have a vampire.
Yeah.
Lots of
similar. Does that look
lots of
familiar?
similar, yeah, lots of, it's like, did they have this as a stat like ready to go and they just kind of like superimposed it on top of art?
They reused a lot of art. Other artists, very borrowed quote unquote ideas. So they definitely did a lot of recycling of images.
But I love how on this, like, she's bitten his fiance, she's hit him over the head, and then yet when he captures her again, he's just like, okay, I'll follow your lead and like let you lead me to this guy.
There's the oversized bat head again on the left.
Oh yeah,
I found that particular panel caused a little pain.
Her face is kind of funky too. Like, look at
if I had to,
Well, it's like kind of like they tried to they drew the face and they're like, oh, she looks too much like our other female character, so let's put weird lines on her cheeks to make her look odd.
Yeah, and the eyeshadow is quite.
Oh wait, there was a certain panel. Yeah, this one cracks me up. He's like, and so the Batman and Dala depart on their weird mission. It's like, what a line.
Yeah.
I love how he gets caught here too. Just a giant net.
Oh yeah,
that's just the plane.
Right?
Like, how do you not see a giant net?
Right there. Yeah.
A great silver net that seems to operate by magic.
Yeah. And yes, Jimmy, this is 32. So.
Yo, what's up, Jimmy? Yeah, we're up to Tech 32 here. We're almost done with this. Although Batman 1 has 4 stories, so we're gonna have to kind of speed it up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. Batman 1's
but yeah,
this time he hypnotizes Batman good. He doesn't have the will to just break it.
Right, moving on.
And I love this. Like, so they capture Batman. They bring Julie again. She's hypnotized, and they call her to him. And then they're gonna like feed him to werewolves. It's a big elaborate death plan. But first, he has to change into a wolf, which then does not look like a wolf.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I thought what is that, a cat? What's that?
Cat. I thought it was a cat. At
first I thought it was a cat, and then I thought maybe
a badger or Wolverine.
Yeah, a badger or a...
Yeah. And then, but he goes out and calls werewolves in, then transforms back. All this instead of just killing him.
What's up, Donnie? Mastodon?
Yes.
All right. And then we are on this page.
He's basically trying to get away from the werewolves.
Yeah, he's been thrown in the pit with the werewolves. And not regular wolves, werewolves. Not that we can tell that.
He called them werewolves, didn't he? But, there's no...
Yeah, they appear to just be normal wolves.
Yeah.
And then, but I love how he throws this gas pellet that knocks him out, but he's just standing there breathing it.
I can only hold the wolves off only as long as my gas pellets last. Then it's over. Is it over?
Well, and I love how he goes through this whole cycle, and he keeps trying to throw the rope, and it won't go high enough. And then finally, when he's down to his last pellet, he's like, oh, wait, if I attach the batarang.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
For someone who usually thinks it out pretty well, that was a little...
And then suddenly, this is the point where it's like...
This is the part where it kind of lost me a little bit. I'm like, okay, so now we're doing vampires, silver bullets?
Yeah.
Like,
I love how he kills the Mad Monk. The Mad Monk is no longer in red. He's dressed like a vampire. Or the monk is no longer in red. He's dressed like a vampire. And
he's in his nighttime attire, which is a tuxedo.
Yeah, he put on a tuxedo.
I love how he just cold-bloodedly drops these guys in their caskets, dude.
Yeah. So do we call them 7 and 8? I mean,
that's a double. Yeah, that's a double homicide if I ever saw one.
Yeah, and he just happened. He has his silver. He has his silver bullets. He didn't even know they're vampires, but he has. Again, you could get nitpicky, but it's all. The Tech 31 is popular because of its cover.
Yeah,
I agree with you. The story itself. this story
what we read, I feel like these two were like the monk story is just the most out there, least cohesive, least like makes sense.
Completely. It's like they were having a meeting and decided werewolves and vampires are popular. Let's incorporate that in the Batman. And so, I don't know what they were thinking, but yes.
So we had Biggie Shack join. What's up, Biggie? We got Mr. Garrel's got a bounce later. Garrel, have a good show tonight. Jimmy's like, thank God they can fall back on the cover for sales. Yeah. Well, so we do have two kind of big issues. We're already at the hour mark, so we'll try to go quickly, but we do have two kind of bigger issues in the history of Batman to go over, and that's Tech 33 and Batman 1. Tech 33 is the first origin of Batman or Bruce Wayne.
Well,
first origin of Batman.
Like, it's 2 pages. Like,
and it's literally, it literally is 2 pages. But what's also cool is that he's got the gun on the cover, right?
Yeah, he's got the holster, not the gun, just the holster.
The gun holster, right?
But this cover, we were talking about popular covers. I would put this one even above 29 for popularity to some.
I agree.
Maybe.
I agree.
Just because of the gun holster, it is.
Just say because of the holster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's 31, 33. Well, 27's. I mean, I can't
forget about 27.
I don't even list 27, but 31, 33, 29. I think.
I would say it's probably
the order of the popularity of those covers. But All right, so let's get into this little 2-page origin real quick. There are pearls mentioned, if you were curious.
Yes. The pearls are part. That's why they're getting robbed.
I'll take that necklace you're wearing, lady. So there it is. The Batman and how he came to be. So there's the appearance.
Thomas Wayne went
there's
after
Joe Chill. Yeah, Joe Chill shoots Thomas Wayne first, right?
Yep.
And then on the next page, he has shot Martha Wayne, and there's Bruce essentially in shock.
Yeah.
And then there's the one line, or not the one line, the one sentence that I think I've seen reprinted the most in Batman comics throughout history, and that is, "And I swear by the spirits of my parents to avenge their deaths by spending the rest of my life warring on all criminals." So that's the money line right there.
That is.
So.
Well, that, and then you get the other one is some disguise that must be able to strike terror into the hearts. Or criminals are super
right. Well, that'll happen on when he turns to Batman right here, down here.
So that one page has 2 of the
iconic
lines. Yeah.
Jimmy with
superstitious, cowardly.
Jimmy with the adult jokes, right on cue here. But dude. I mean, like this, the content of this page in particular, but these 2 pages combined have been essentially homaged and redone and retold and rejiggered and just retold to different audiences countless times now, over and over since this issue of Detective. So, okay, so should we cover the rest of this story, or should we just?
I don't know. I think we can skip it.
I think we can go to Batman.
The story itself is not. I mean, at some point
that was the important piece.
Basically, he did have a gun in his hand. It's right there. Right, you just missed it. Right.
Oh, right here.
No, that one on the bottom left. That's his moment, and he has the holster. The panel right before that, you could see the holster, and that was about it for Batman's gun career in the Golden Age.
And there's the gun, So, that story is out there. The first 2 pages are.
Let's kill another guard in this one.
Yeah, that's why we threw it into this show because of those 2 origin pages, right?
No.
Yeah, we got behind on our death count there, but it's at 7 for sure. We'll say 8 probably on that one, but probably
and we technically, I guess, also read the first appearance of Robin, Detective
38.
38. So let me pull that up. hold on.
And I think we could just focus on like the couple pages where
a couple pages of Robin.
Yeah.
So,
hold that up. 38. And I mean, and that origin story hasn't changed really over time either. It's, Robin, he overhears Mr. Haley getting threatened, and then, and then the next night, cut the ropes, and it's, I will say, I do find it funny is like Batman just takes off with him. Like there's no like they talk about he's his ward and all this stuff. There's no like steps. He just takes him.
There's the cover. First Robin. Another book that Man Cave has that I'm jealous of, but what are you gonna do? Love crazy. That. Awesome cover. If you're into Robin,
that cover's been homaged a good amount too, as far as homage covers.
I mean, go. I've heard people talk, down on the cover, but I think it's pretty iconic as far as the entrance of a character. It's not badass like a lot of the, it early
definitely
Batman
signals.
ones.
It signals an end to the really dark Batman theme and a beginning of the sidekick. With Batman.
So here's the splash page, which is honestly just as iconic onto its own. Like I considered getting a coverless copy of this book because of how awesome.
It's the same image. It's just
the same image from the cover. So it's one of the few books I would ever consider getting coverless, as long as this first splash page was presenting nice. But of course, I'd love to have the cover also. But and what's going on is this is the scene from the flying Graysons on the trapeze or whatever, the first panel right here, sort of Dick Grayson's family being introduced in a circus performer setting. And then here on this page is all the exposition about the performance gone wrong, right?
Yeah.
Due to some nefarious activity going on here.
Basically they were shaking down the owner.
They were trying to shake him down.
Yep. He wouldn't pay, so he put some acid on the trapeze line and and then by the end of the second page of the story itself, you already have Bruce Wayne being like, "Why don't you just sleep over my house?"
And
it's like, "Come on over, we'll have a pajama party."
Well, he's protecting him. You'll be dead, he tells him you'll be dead. Like if you try to go to the police, you'll be dead. So, but he just takes him in with no adoption, no nothing. He just kidnaps him.
Right. He's like, well, I guess you and I were both victims of similar troubles with our parents, and so why don't we just swear that we'll both fight against crime and corruption and all that, and then and then all this training happens within 2 to 3 panels here. The guy learns jujitsu.
I love they call it jujitsu. I wasn't
jujitsu.
I don't know how many people knew about jujitsu back in the 30s. I mean, maybe it was more pervasive than I realized, but I was surprised to see that. Truth be told,
but there's the sort of realization of the character panel right there, and thus Dick Grayson, by hand of fate, is transformed into the astonishing phenomenon that young Robin Hood of today, Robin, the Boy Wonder.
Now, I hadn't read this in a long time. If you at least just go to the ending panels, the last few.
Okay. Last few of the story.
Maybe the third.
Going back and getting Zuko.
Keep going more.
So getting revenge for capturing the people that killed Robin's parents is the whole issues about that. So it does go back.
But
this is kind of the resolution here of it, or the final fight, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the girder fight, the fights on the girder, I'm telling you, Robin killed.
Oh, he killed the guy. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
So we're talking death counts. Look at the top there, right there. He's throwing that guy. Where's he going to throw him? He's not going to throw him.
Yeah.
He takes out at least
the other guy. He's kicking there. So I have no respect for Robin. I hadn't read this in a long time, but I'm thinking
there's a couple of guys, like those 3 guys. There's all 3 of the like henchmen. Yeah. Or 4 of the henchmen, I guess. There's like 4 henchmen with Zuko, and like he kills like 3 of them.
Yeah, I would say at least 3, if not 4, were added to the body count in this.
Well, Zuko kills 1 of them, so
that's true. The last one was the boss himself.
Yeah, but like Robin kills the other guy.
Yeah, so I appreciate having to read this because it gives me more appreciation for Robin than I was having. As people like to blame Robin.
Tech 38.
I was gonna say, Tech 38.
I'm a Tech 38 owner, and I didn't have enough appreciation for Robin. Give me a break.
I didn't. Oh man!
But look at that's hilarious right there. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah, Zuko just pisses that guy off the building. They're like, oh, well, now we have evidence that you killed that guy, as opposed to the evidence that we had of like Robin killing the other 3 guys.
Yeah. We'll forget about that.
So, all right. So that's the detective portion of this presentation. Let's quickly go through Batman 1. Maybe not covering everything, but
at least the first Joker.
I mean, the cover is instantly recognizable. One of the most instantly recognizable #1 issues.
And then the splash page is pretty iconic.
I gotta say, I love the splash page, and then I love the Joker actual.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Joker one. Sorry,
this one's the sort of the retelling of the origin story. This retells essentially what Tech 33.
Yeah, it's the same opening as Tech
same
33.
exact opening. I think the coloring is a little different.
Coloring is different, but artwork's the same. And then you get the first truly piece of new content.
Yes. And when Golden Age Joker was badass.
He was.
Loved Golden Age. They did a good job with him. The way he looked, everything about him was. You can see why he's one of the most iconic villains.
Well, and there's a big, so I read all the way through because we weren't going to, but I did it anyway. And even like Hugo Strange, who's introduced in the issues we skipped and didn't talk about, like there's a big difference right off the bat in how Joker is handled as a villain compared to all these other guys.
Yeah.
He's much more of a threat, even though they talk about the other guys being geniuses and master criminals and stuff, like Joker is way more of a threat.
Well, go some of the panels. We'll show some of the things.
He's essentially calling his shots. Like he's hijacking the radio. He's hijacking the radio airwaves, and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna steal this jewel at this time that's owned by this person, and I'm also gonna kill that person. And he pretty much makes good on his promises, and people are freaking out, right?
Yeah.
So he's like the first villain to have like world level stakes, at least for the world of Batman.
And right off the bat, they die and they get that Joker grin smile on their face. It's just it's awesome.
A lot of things that anybody who reads DC or knows a little bit of anything about Batman comics and the Joker, there are things that were introduced here that continue to this day to be referenced and used for that character. So
especially for the Joker, but for Batman and there's a lot of the main stuff was there from the beginning.
Look at this one where he's sitting there with his hands up. I just love that panel right there.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
He's just not the goofy Joker of the 1950s. No.
No.
This is
there's another good one right there.
And I love again. They're all if you were wealthy back then, better not advertise you had any big jewels of
And you got Dick Grayson being like, Bruce, why don't we take a shot at this Joker guy? And he's like, no, not yet. When the time is right. When the time is right.
Yeah, and then the first time they actually he does confront the Joker. Like the Joker actually beats him in a fight.
Oh yeah. It's all Joker. Joker just makes a mistake of not finishing him off proper, but I guess that's
he throws him off a bridge, but instead of like.
He's wearing the armor there.
Yep.
Love that.
So he gets him again, and he doesn't kill the police on this one. He says it's just a
Right.
paralytic for them, but just showing a little compassion.
Well, he said he didn't say he was going to kill the police. He said he was following what he said. His shot was he was just going to kill that one guy.
That's right.
And I love how he does it. Like he's doing the pattern's the same of using the radio to call like when and who he's going to kill and when.
Right.
But he uses a different method every time.
So this panel right here is the first time the Joker and Batman confront each other, right? Like, or they both have text on this page. You can't really see the Joker that well.
Yeah, it's not really
Joker's going after these guys because these guys were talking smack about him.
Right, but they're both in the same.
Joker didn't mess around. You're like,
they're both in the same scene here for the first time.
Yeah,
and then you actually
he's
eventually
chasing him, and then the car is where they actually like confront each other.
Right.
Batman's fighting the guys. The Joker kills the guy that he said he was going to kill, and then he runs off.
Right there,
yeah. What does he say? It's like something. I won't waste the usual Joker venom on you.
Yeah, it's like here's something you can
understand. Lead.
Yeah. That was a classic line, dude.
That is.
All right, so there's a chase, and
right here, boom, first fight. Here you go, folks. First fight, Batman versus Joker. What happens? Joker punches him in the face and throws him off into the water. Oh man!
While saying I'm going
to punches him, and he kicks him, and
All right, and then he climbs out onto the shoreline or whatever over here, and then he's like, basically they go back to the drawing board because Joker gets away, right? So
when he's crying out, he says, "It seems at last I met a foe that can give me a good fight. However, I'm not licked yet."
What's up, Jeff Schulte? All right, and then moving down here, he's in a police uniform, which is amazing.
And look at that. When it becomes apparent he's not actually the police officer. It's a great. That's well done.
And
done for
so that judge bites the dust, and Joker makes good on his threats yet again. Now you have Robin on Joker's tail, right?
Yep. So Robin's first encounter with Joker isn't so successful either.
Not very successful. Gets clocked in the back of the head. But apparently he was wearing some sort of special paint on his shoes or a coated.
So Batman can track him.
Which, in today's environment would totally lead the villain to where Batman is. But hey, whatever. What's up, Pat Wall in the house? Good to see you, Pat. Wait, was this the next page or did I skip a page?
No, that's it.
That was the next page. Okay.
Yeah, because Joker's he's tied Robin up and he's about to give him the Joker stuff venom to make him grin. And when Batman arrives,
and finally Batman gets the better of him here.
Yeah,
but he still escapes again.
Of course, and he starts the trend of Joker constantly is escaping even from prison in this issue later on.
Yeah.
Well, and I do, but they keep chasing him, and it's just this is a kind of a running battle here at the end of this particular part of the story.
And our first helpless Robin being rescued by Batman cover.
But actually, we get to the next panel, and Robin's the one that actually sort of stops him.
Yeah, that's true.
Right here. That's for the sock on the head. He's like, payback, buddy.
That's awesome panel. That is awesome.
Love that. All right, next page.
But Robin's pretty much going to kill him. He kicks him off the building again, but Batman catches him.
This is like the beginning of the soft streak for Batman, I guess.
That is. It's like what were you? Robin was getting into that, throwing people off buildings.
Robin was all about it.
We could have saved 80 years of history, guys.
Yeah,
just let him fall right here, and it's all.
How many innocent comic civilians would have survived if
Batman doesn't suddenly change his mind about throwing people off buildings?
Yeah,
right. So at the end of the issue, Joker is behind bars essentially, and he ominously teases, "They can't keep me here. I know the way out." Joker will have the last laugh. But yeah, really cool first story for Joker. In the Batman 1 comic, there are 4 individual stories. It's actually, almost 60 pages of all Batman stuff, unlike the Detective Comics, which had other things in it.
Yeah. You get the first 2 Joker stories. There's
first 2 Joker stories and the first Catwoman.
You get the first Catwoman story, and you get the second Hugo Strange story.
Second Hugo Strange story, yeah. So the second story is the Hugo Strange story. That's the one I'm going to kind of skip over here.
Yeah, skip that one.
There's nothing. There's no first appearance or anything major, historic necessarily, besides the second Hugo Strange.
The only thing I found funny about this story is the guy Hugo Strange injects him with that thing that's going to make him a brute, and Batman defeats him and basically spends a little time in the lab hinkering and dinkering. It's like, okay, I got the antidote. Boom, I'm done.
Makes you go to antidote,
Oh, it'd be so nice.
And so this is the third story, which involves a yacht of some kind and like like some sort of gathering or of a high society on a yacht. And then Bruce Wayne has this genius idea to send Robin undercover. Dick Grayson is somebody working like the event or whatever, right? That this is where they're hatching.
I mean, and for most of it, unknown. Like this is mostly a Robin story for most.
Mostly a Robin story, yeah.
Yeah, for the beginning.
And here is the debated first appearance of Selina Kyle, right here.
Really debated? We find out that
it's not debated. This is the first
in disguise.
Yeah, this is the first appearance of Selina Kyle in disguise in this story of this issue right here as what's her name? Mrs. Peggs? Miss Peggs?
Peggs, yeah.
Peggs, yeah.
And so you're introduced to her as just a guest of one of the other guests, and in kind of like a casual panel. Only later on in the issue will you realize that is where she first appeared. But we will show you that. So he's basically trying to get some intel here, right, from one of the other workers. He eavesdrops on a conversation about, I forget exactly, like this guy needs money or something like that, right?
Yeah, they're all
talking about how
everybody wants the old lady's money.
Yeah, everybody wants
the old
money.
lady. It's her yacht, right? It's her money. It's and there's some sort of big jewel on board as well, right?
Yes, naturally.
So
I like how everything has a name. It's the Rothman Ruby,
and so this is how they kind of get. This is how they get turned on to kind of what's going on. Is this guy's what he's throwing this piece of paper and like the wind blows it back.
Yeah,
onto the deck, and Dick Grayson picks it up, and on the letter, let me zoom in on this letter, is the
cat.
The cat. So keep your aunt away from what's that?
The room.
The room.
Will.
I had a hard time reading that letter. Or reading that word.
Keep your aunt away from the room. We'll try then.
We'll try then. Yeah. So that's the first reference of the cat.
And then immediately she's saying she's been robbed.
As soon as he gets the letter,
right away the robbery occurs. And then it's not cops, right? It's like Coast Guard or something.
Well, they're claiming to be the Coast Guard, but it's other thieves coming also from the.
It's other thieves.
Yes.
It's other thieves. They want the jewels, and then they're like, the jewels are already been stolen, huh? The joke's on you,
So then they just rob everybody of everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it turns into a meltdown. Which ultimately will eventually lead to the conclusion of the story right here.
But I love this little side story. So they go after these other thieves, and they catch them. But instead of catching them, Batman's just like, "Here, why don't you fight Robin?"
Right.
He's like, just to prove how cowardly. How
he's like,
without
guns.
Why
don't you line up 4 of your guys against this young kid, and let's see what happens.
It is like without guns. criminals are a bunch of wimps or something.
I'm going to show the kids of America, which they're on a boat, just like the 6 of them. He's like, the kids of America, how yellow you rats are without your gun.
Really, Dick Grayson's handling business this whole issue, and then Batman finally enters the picture right here on close to the end.
He does right at the end, but then Robin like ties them all up and everything, and then Batman like cuts them loose so they can fight Grayson. Like,
so awesome.
It's just like, okay. And they even say, "If only I had my gun."
Yeah.
After they get beat up by Dick. Like
a little bit ham-handed. Oh, and there's the.
Yeah, no, this is still the continuation of that part of the story where he's kind of like wrangling them up.
And then he gives a public service messages to us.
Right. He's like, well, kids, there's your proof. That's the funniest line ever. Don't do what these yeller crooks do.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. And then this is the part where I think the cat.
So, yeah, they return to the boat and take all the stuff those guys had taken back. And then they, like, basically rig a fire alarm or something. Then he realized...
It's a costume party, so Batman shows up as Batman, and they think it's the best costume.
Batman wins the costume ball. And now it's revealed right here.
She ran a little too fast.
There's the old lady. She's running. You gotta run her. We gotta run her. And then we got Robin like jumping down several flights of stairs here, I guess.
Yeah, Robin catches her. He's done all the work this issue.
Does all the work. And then they first take off the wig to reveal a black-haired lady with glasses. And then
rubs off some makeup,
mask and makeup.
Makeup's rubbed off. This is the funniest line in all of comic book history right here. The makeup wax is quickly rubbed off. Let go of me. Quiet or Papa spank.
I love that. Yeah, that was too
much. Oh boy. Just let that sink in.
That's what I'm going to tell my wife later.
Yeah, that'll go over well.
Quiet or Papa spank. All right. Well, ignoring that joke for a second, this is the first time Selina Kyle appears as herself.
Yes.
In the same story, and
not as Miss Doubtfire.
Exactly. So whatever way you want to interpret it, of which page is her first appearance, that is up to you. It all happens in Batman #1, regardless.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the panels. Which panels first is irrelevant.
Yeah. Unless the original art was available, which it is not.
There you go. That would be
and then her accomplice tries to come for.
I love how he uses the jewel as usual as a weapon.
And then conveniently he leaves all the other criminals tied up on the boat for the police to come get, but he takes the cat with them.
But this is key. This is key right here. You have the beginning of the, will they team up or not, or will they, get romantic or not here in these two panels, I would say is the first time that whole rigmarole ever occurs in DC canon. So she's like, we could always team up, we could split that loot. And then she's like,
it did start right off the bat like that. Yeah,
so it did start like that. And he's like, sorry, your proposition tempts me, but we work on different sides of the law. So, and then she, of course, escapes. So, and
then I love how he just tricks Robin. Oops,
sorry, Robin.
Damn it, Robin.
Robin was about to catch her, and it's like, nope. And then I love him at the end.
Yeah, lovely girl. What eyes say? Must forget I've got a girl named Julie.
Batman is quite risky. Papa Spank sounds like a bad 90s.
He let her go.
And must have been Cuomo-ish. Oh God. Papa Spank cell is definitely t-shirt worthy. Yeah, man.
It's quiet, Papa Spank.
If you go back,
quiet, Papa Spank.
Yeah.
You have to have that quiet there too.
Like Robin's not falling for it at all. If you go back to that other little panel,
he's like, "What's the deal, man?"
He's like, me on purpose.
Yeah,
you should make a break. Whatever gave you that idea, Robin?
Yeah,
isn't it? Like, just tries to change
that's special.
Oh, and then this is kind of funny because I was alluding to it earlier. Where they kind of encouraged people to cut off the back cover. He's like, so many of our readers have written us such nice letters that we have decided to show our appreciation. Therefore, on the back cover of this magazine, you will find a full page autograph picture suitable for framing of both Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder. This is our way of saying thanks, Bob Kane. And then we'll oh wait, so the back cover isn't in. I don't think the back cover
is in here. It's just further.
Is here, but
it's after the Joker story, the second Joker story.
It's right here. So there you go. That is the pinup on the back of Batman #1. So,
and then
all right. So, wow, that was a action-packed walk through Batman history.
And just to note,
a little long-winded.
The last one is a Joker story, and Joker beats him in the first confrontation. He takes him out. Joker.
Yeah, I'll quickly show you the title page of that one. It's The Joker Returns, and
that's about the same page front as the Detective 40, which they decided wouldn't be a Joker comic, but it's the cover. They decided
his first cover appearance in Tech. Yeah,
but a lot of people don't consider it that because he wasn't in the comic.
Or was his first cover appearance? Period. Right. That
would be Tech 40. By some people, some people say no. It's people argue.
I've heard that argument that some people say no.
Yeah.
How is it if he's on it? I don't. Yeah, just because he's not, it's not the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't have that iconic look that he has in most of his covers beyond that cover. Right. That's I think the main issue that collectors have with that is the cover.
Oh, because it's completely icy. Like
he's in the background. Yeah.
Because he's a different really see him. It's the same image, but it's a different colored suit. It doesn't actually look like the Joker.
Suit, the face.
Exactly.
It's
So same image.
You could barely make him out. So
I can see why then they went. It is the exact same image, though. That is in
right.
Huh.
But the second story is pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Joker defeats him and almost takes his mask, and leaves him for the police. He almost take his mask off.
Yeah. He was going to club him, and Batman just turned over, and then the police are coming. And for some reason, Joker was more worried about the police than just getting rid of Batman. But,
what's up, Kachung, Delphia? No worries, guys. The rewind will be available. It's a little bit of a long show, but we did on the screen go through all of those old school Golden Age comics issues. I think if it was just us talking about it, based on our us three read those stories, there's not. The stories are not the most mind blowing. They're interesting, but they're of a different era. But the main point is a lot of the sort of core tenets of Batman, Robin, eventually Gotham, even though these stories originally don't take place in Gotham, that take place in New York City, and then potentially some gray area zone before they officially make it Gotham, But a lot of the early sort of core character traits for these characters and, Catwoman, the dynamic between Catwoman and Batman, the dynamic between Batman and Joker, a lot of these things originated in these stories. So it's as a Batman fan, it's fun to revisit these every once in a while.
And the art is the best thing about just looking at the images and how it's put together for us. The storytelling we've heard, it's old for us, that kind of ham-handed storytelling. But
But dude, Man Cave, thank you for hanging out and walking through these stories, man. It was fun time with you. Anything you want to plug or promote coming up on YouTube? Are you on the Comigories, The Hunt, or anything like that coming up?
I am on Alex the Comic Orders channel tomorrow at 9.
Oh, cool.
We're going over the top 100 collect Silver Age comics.
Oh wow!
And
cool.
We're going to have
and how many you guys have and things like that.
Yeah, and we're having a guest with us he has a really popular YouTube channel, and he also has some crazy comics. I forget it.
Okay, cool.
God, give me a second. I'm blanking on him. He's his kids actually do reviews for stuff, so it's more his kids. But he shows some really good Silver Age comics sometimes. He has like 5 million subscribers or something.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Yeah, he's.
So he must not be showing comic haul videos. Then.
I have no idea. Alex. Somehow
I don't think anybody
knows him. Yeah.
who shows comics on their channel has millions of subscribers.
Well, he has a few episodes where his kids try to guess the most valuable comic, but he has hundreds.
I've seen those. Yeah. I've seen those. I know you're talking about.
An Asian guy.
Yeah, the Asian guy. I know you're talking about. I feel like I came across him somewhere else in the community, but I can't remember when.
If you watch comic show, it'll eventually get recommended to you. So he has very big comics, like really big stuff.
Very cool, man.
It'll be really cool to see what he has.
If I can't be there live, I'll definitely catch that one.
That'll be interesting.
You said that's on Alex's channel.
Alex,
yep. 9
Later, Schultz. Have a good night, bro.
Later,
thank you, Jay Bonilla in the house. Appreciate it.
Bonilla.
Yeah, as soon as I let that slip off the tongue, I was like, "Did I just?"
Come on, you're new. Well, you're not from New York, but
I still should have known better. Anyway, JP, what you got coming up?
I got Wicked and Divine on Thursday. We're doing more indie shows, so we're up to volume 6 and 7. So getting toward the end of that, and then.
Do you recommend those? I read the first two when they first came out, and then I dropped off.
It is a crazy. I'm really enjoying it. It's a. Weird
I enjoyed the first
story.
two trades I read. I didn't get.
There's some crazy crap going on, and there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in these two. Like
I'll have to repick that up. I read those a decade. They've been around a while now, right? The first two?
I want to say it wrapped up.
It's relatively modern, but it's not.
But I mean, the first two were a long time ago.
I want to say like 2010 to 20.
Yeah, like a decade. I feel like it was a decade ago I read that.
Yeah.
I'd have to dig it up.
I don't know if it says in here exactly, but yeah, I want to say like maybe.
So that's Wednesday, you said?
That's Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
Okay, so these volumes came out in 2018. So I think the series ran through it's like maybe 2012 to 2018 or something like that.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, it's been out for a little while. So we're getting close. There's 9 volumes total. So we got this one and then one more show here in a month or so. We'll wrap that up. And then my usual weekend stuff. And then next Monday we got Comigories again with Bonafide, who was in here a while ago, is our defending champ. Is he?
Oh yeah, he won.
Down Man Cave in the finals.
What can I say, man?
So, but
it worked out perfectly to get all the way to the end and lose in a tiebreaker is about the best because then you don't have to
come back.
Yeah, then you don't have to have everything out and thinking about it for 2 weeks. Oh man, it's rough.
Yeah. I think I've been on the show 3 times. One was a Halloween special, and every single time my whole organization setup was like destroyed. Like the way I organize my comics is not visual at all based on the type of cover it is. It's all,
mine's just by series. So
and my recall ability is just horrible. But anyway, I will be hopping on live at a TBD time tomorrow evening, early evening probably, with Mr. Miracle, and I'm going to unbox an AOK that he sent me. So that should be pretty fun. That'll be tomorrow, and then maybe later on in the week I'll hop on live. Yeah,
there's a Mr. Miracle.
I'm guessing there's a sketch inside because there's a sketch on the box itself.
Dinobots.
But we'll see. It should be fun either way to see what Dave, Mr. Miracle sent me. But that'll be tomorrow, and then later on in the week maybe I'll do like a haul video or something like that. We'll see. But that's pretty much it. So thanks everybody for hanging out in the chat and chatting and looking at old school Golden Age Batman comics with us. Thanks Man Cave for talking about it with us. And
hang out with you guys.
We'll see you whenever episode 24 ends up being for Gotham City Chronicles on JP's channel when we decide what we're going to read finally.
And who our guest is going to be.
And who our guest is. So, that's usually how it goes here. But good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Take care.
Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't want to see me win. Think coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard he scammer had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call him my account. It's all in, I can have it coming out. Been through the struggle, I can see another drought. Yeah, it's not a purse, it's a merce. 6 figures was a gold, now it's 9 or a hearse. Put it work. Used to pull up, not swerve. No time for the snakes, time to put them in the dirt. That's word. I gotta get it, it's in my DNA. You only see the highlights, don't know what it takes. Last year stressing, got no sleep. Now I'm right between the courts, out of nosebleed. Yeah, I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win.